Howdy everybody, this is T Walker aka Tanner, gonna do a video today in response to Lichen101. He did a video about self-railroading, a party that only goes in the direction of the main story and doesn't go off in different directions. Before I get into this, I'm going to give you a little anecdote about a game I've played, because I think it might be relevant, or could be, one of the reasons. The game was called Dragon Age, and to sum up the premise of Dragon Age, you go through your generic storyline. There's 6 different generic storylines you can go through, and you automatically get to the main storyline where you're recruited to fight the Blight, which are just like orcs that come out of the ground. But they're gonna take over the world, and it's a very pressing matter. Like, they're gonna kill everyone, and they're gonna rule the world, and there's a dragon who apparently is part of the Blight too, and ogres and orcs. Okay, so you got your generic fantasy bad guys coming out of the ground trying to kill everybody. And so you're put into this army, and while you're trying to guard the tower, everyone in your unit is killed because some general douchebag ordered his guys to retreat because, you know, they don't really give you a good reason. He said it was to save everyone, but he could have really easily saved the people who he just killed. It was really dumb, but that's besides the point. So anyway, the premise of the game is, after that happens, you need to go around and raise an army to fight not only D. Baggerson, who retreated all of his troops and hates you now for some reason, spreading lies about you, and he's not even working with the Blight. He's just D. Baggerson. Doesn't make any sense. But you also need to fight the Blight, who are coming out of the ground and killing everyone. And they really make that really forceful and present, that these Blights are, as you speak, coming out of the ground and killing people and destroying them. So that's the premise of the game. You go to different towns and you recruit the elves, and you recruit the dwarves, and you recruit this and that and all that. So that's what you're set out to do. That is your main quest. And of course, like any other fantasy game, people come up to you and be like, "Hello there, can you find my family heirloom?" And you're like, "No, I am a general. I am leading an army against the Blight. I can't. Why don't you go look for your family heirloom?" At least that's what my character in the game said, because that's what I thought made sense. I'm supposed to be constructing a massive army to fight for the entire Earth. I'm not gonna find your little trinket. It's stupid, right? Especially when I don't have to. And I've got more pressing matters. And so in that game, I self-railroaded myself because I thought it made sense. I thought that, you know, if I go and find this guy's stupid little mirror or something, that wouldn't make any sense. Why would I do that? Now, I could have metagamed it and be like, oh, they're not going to program, you know, me finding this guy's mirror to have adverse effect, but they should have. And so I played the game my way because I wanted to immerse myself more in it. Interesting side note, I never beat it. I got to the last mission, and the 3 choices you make right in a row, right before the last mission, made me quit the game. Because all of the choices they gave you did not make any sense. At all. None. And pretty much the choices were not really choices. It was, if I want this character who's been in my party, who I've developed, and I understand his personality through the entire game, if I want him to stay in my party, I have to make this decision. That's not really good writing now, is it? So, back to my point. My point is, sometimes a group will self-railroad because they think the main story is more important. If your main story revolves around, you know, some world-threatening event, it's kind of granted that your players probably won't care about, you know, John and his missing hand mirror. But then again, on the other side, it could be that they're just not comfortable with breaking from the main story because they think it's wrong, or they think it's this or that, or for some reason they think main story is more important, whether that's because they think it'll give them a better item, whether they think that's because that's what they're supposed to do, or whether they think that because it's more pressing to the worldly matters. Anyway, that's my take on it. If you're just watching this for the response video to Lichen101, you can stop now, because now I'm going to do a really quick rant now that I'm thinking about Dragon Age on Dragon Age. So, in the beginning of Dragon Age, the first real two characters you get, their names are Alistair and Morgana. I think Morgan or something. Morgan? Something like that. Witchy lady. Now, let me describe to you the class system in Dragon Age. Fighters make good tanks. Mages make good everything else. In fact, they actually make better tanks if you get the special skill for them. Dragon Age treats mages... I can't think of a good analogy. Dragon Age masturbates to mages. They are the most powerful thing in the entire game. Storm of the Century wipes everything on the map. Like everything. Kills it instantly. Dead. Once you get that, the game's pretty much over. I mean, there's a few things that, you're going to have to do something a little extra. Not much. That'll take care of most everything. Now, here we get to the problem. You are allowed 4 people, including yourself, in the party. So that person is you. Another one, if you're not a tank, needs to be a tank. Alright? So, tank. Alright, you, tank. You are required to have a healer. If you do not have a healer, you will die. You will not be able to progress. Healer, required. Now that healer is a mage. Has to be a mage. No other job can heal the party. Mage. Your other one needs to be a damage dealer. You know what it also needs to be? A mage. Right? So you're required to have a tank and 2 mages in your party pretty much no matter what. In order to just, beat the game. I mean, you could have 1 healer and no mage, but then you're just kind of like cutting off 1 foot and trying to beat the game. I mean, it's good for EPing, but 2 mages and a tank is what you need. Right? Now, unless you're a mage, you're going to have to use the 2 mages they give you. They only give you 2, right? One is Morgan, and the other one, I think his name is Wynn, and she's a healer already. So Morgan is your damage dealer, Wynn is your healer, and Alistair, the character you're given at the very beginning, and also Morgan, these 2 characters, their stories, you have progressed so far. You have taken them to extreme. They've been with you since the beginning. Right? So you're connected to them because you've seen their characters and you've watched them bicker. And these 2 characters that have been with you since the beginning of the game, they're just important. Not only for your party, but you're connected to their character. Now, at the end of the game, near the last mission, let me sum up very quickly. You're given 2 choices that include that include one of these characters. First one is Morgan comes up to you and says, "Ooh, I want to have a demon baby with you. Ooh, because if you have sex with me, when you kill the Dark Lord, its soul will go into my womb and I'll have a demon baby and then I'll leave you forever." But I was going to do that anyway. And if you say no to me right now, if you don't give me your demon baby, I'm going to leave your party. Now let's go back to what I previously said. You need 2 mages in your party. And if you're not a mage who deals damage, there is no way you can say no to her and really have a good time beating the rest of the game. She's required. So in order to play the game, you have to choose that story option. You've just settled your ending. Right? Now it's the end. The other one. You find Dee Baggerson, who is the princess's father, and Alistair, that your tank, is the bastard son of him, and you get them, and he says, "Oh, I yield, don't kill me, please." Now, if you don't kill him, Alistair leaves your party. Forever. Goodbye, tank and character you've raised for the whole entire game. So, what option do you have to pick? Oh, guess what? If you kill him, I mean, this is assuming you're playing Mel. If you kill him, and Alistar becomes king, now he really hates you. Not only that, the princess, who Alistar is supposed to marry but he doesn't want to, also hates you. So you pick the other option. Everyone hates you. Great story writing, Dragon Age. Awesome. Oh, I bet they were thinking, oh, that's a really moral dilemma. No, it's not. It's, keep the character in my party who, is required pretty much because I'm connected to him. I like his character. You forced me to play his character since the beginning of the game. Or kick him out of the party, or, have him leave, or have him hate you and everybody hate you. It's not a moral dilemma, that's just stupid. I mean, you're gonna pick, the hate you part, because at least you get to keep his character and you can get him to like you again. It's really just dumb. I never finished it because of those reasons. Because it has multiple endings, and it forced me to pick one, because I was not a damage-dealing mage. Yeah. Great story writing. So, the moral of this story is if you're not a mage in Dragon Age, you're pretty much restricted to one ending. And if you are a mage, and you don't have Morrigan in your party, well, that's great. But how were you supposed to know that? Anyway, this has been T-Walker, aka Tanner, and I am signing off.